Hey everybody. It's it's me, it's Steve. And I brought along a couple of friends. And we're gonna have some fun here. And I know the applause will be held for the other two because no one really likes me, so that's the break. But today is a special panel. It's special to me because music means a lot to me, as it does most people in the world. But today we are going to be talking some extreme music, some metal, and we got Gray Poupet and Iron Oxide. How you guys doing today?
Hey,
Yeah, full applause. Thanks.
man. Hell yeah. Oh, first stream of the week. So yeah, I'm feeling good.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Good. How you doing, Gray?
Envy you. I was on MSK's show last night, so
Oh,
yeah, I wish
God.
this was the first stream of the week. But
Dear
yeah,
Lord.
dude, I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to be talking about something I love, which is metal. Hell yeah.
All right, so we'll just jump right into this as we usually do with how the show works. So Gray, how first of all, how did you get into such extreme music? Because it's not like even in the 80s, as the thrash movement was coming around, like death metal was like, at least all the way in this little catacomb down in Florida. That was like the uprising into the 80s up through the 90s. How did you get into this style of music?
I guess there's two paths. So I guess kind of the first one is Ace Ventura. Once I saw my first glimpse of, I believe it's Hammer Smashed Face.
Yes.
I needed to I needed to know more. But kind of the real way is I don't know. I was given some free tickets to a concert back in the day, and it was a really good mixture of punk bands, but it just kind of showed me that I could do that. So then I just started doing that. I guess it was a mixture of like boredom and the fact that I could get my hands on a guitar. But man, so I kind of entered through the punk way, and I don't know. We just kind of kept mixing with other bands and seeing like, oh, these dudes are even heavier. And I don't know. I was very close-minded to metal, but I don't know. I kind of got together with this drummer, and man, he just kind of opened my eyes to heavier music. And at first, it was just more mainstream stuff. I guess Slayer, Pantera, shit like that. And then slowly we kind of had this competition where we were trying to find like the most extreme bands ever. And I know Cock and Ball Torture was up there, but I can't remember which one we like ended up on. But man, there's some awesome extreme stuff out there. But yeah, it was kind of through, I guess, that mutual escalation. Me and my drummer Colin, we just kept kind of going closer down that extreme metal kind of pipeline, if you will. But man, I learned some really awesome bands that I just cannot get out of my head from also working with that dude. We used to do land surveying, so it was just like extreme metal and doing property corners. It was weird. But
no, that's fantastic. A lot of time in the car. So, I mean,
exactly.
well, right?
And we had to go out to remote locations, so it was extreme road trips kind of. It was good time.
Extreme locations, extreme road trip, extreme music. It's a good mix.
Dude, that's one of the funny misconceptions about metalheads. It's always, like the stereotype of being the losers that stay at home, not doing shit. It's like, no, most of the metalheads are gainfully employed, well educated, or both for the most part, at least the ones I've known.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they afford to go to all the shows. Like, that's what I did in my early youth. Like, I went to so many fucking shows. It was ridiculous. But Iron Oxide, how did you get into this road of music?
Oh man, I always had a pretty broad spectrum when it came to music. I didn't really like shy away from anything. I always wanted to know if I liked the way it sounded, I wanted to hear more, kind of like Gray. I started off on a lot of the more punk scene. Then I got into started gradually getting into metal beyond the mainstream as well, like pretty much exactly like he was saying, just through it was mostly word of mouth, but a lot of it was living in Vegas. a lot of different independent shows. Like once I hit that certain age, I would probably say between 14 and 16. That's when radio shit isn't doing it for you, and you start really wanting to know if there's anything more than just, Metallica and Green Day, which is on the radio all the time in the 90s. So yeah, just start. It was really through all the local scenes, man. There are some great bands out here. I'm sure none of you guys ever fucking heard of. Johnny Flamehead, Hostage Symphony. There were a bunch of pretty cool ones back in the 90s. Was a great scene for indie music too. Like just a lot of really cool. And this was also during the big panic of the mosh pits and everything.
Yep, I remember that. That was definitely hilarious to see the kids like on different talk shows. Like you're mutilating yourself in these things in this the slam dancing, and I'm like, what?
The best talk shows where they presented musicians. There was the Marilyn Manson one was great because he turned around and used that in his album, which was brilliant.
Yep.
And then the the train wreck that was Gigi Allen.
Oh my God.
Oh hell yeah.
And how about that girl that was with him on that show, the 16-year-old was actually, if you watch his documentary, like stayed with him until he was dead. She was the girl that was like with him at that infamous New York show where it started. He fucking took a handful of drugs off of somebody like on camera and just started wiggling around and then left with shit smeared all over him in a skirt.
Yeah.
That fucking guy. Like, what the fuck?
When it comes to music, I don't really have limits until we get there. It's like, it's fun to watch. It's really almost like urban legend now, but an urban legend that almost happened. But you couldn't have paid me to go to a fucking show.
No.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It pisses me off. It pissed me off when we used to get like spit on. Like I don't know, some places like for punk apparently like that's a sign of respect. But fuck that, man.
No, I've never been down.
That's as far as I'll go.
No.
Yeah.
So my venture was kind of similar to your guys. I was into a lot of punk rock, but for some reason, I gravitated towards. I just wanted to hear. I knew there was other stuff out there because my sister was a complete like late 70s, early 80s kid. And the first, like, I would say heavier record that I heard was South of Heaven. And
oh, hell yeah.
I was like, okay, I like what this is. And there's got to be other bands that do this. And, finally, when, you're out on your own, and I was living with a group of dudes, there was like 5 of us in this house, and they were all a lot older than me. And, one of the guys, he had this giant CD collection and it was all garbage. It was all fucking stuff that I hated, except for a couple of CDs. And we had a record exchange that was like not that far away. And I remember I brought a couple. One of them was Oppressor, but you listen to it now and it's just hilariously terrible. But, and other one was Cannibal Corpse and something. And I went up to the record exchange and I was like, do you have more stuff like this? And there was this dude there, and I knew I asked the right guy because he barely had a face. It was mostly metal, like it was piercings and tattoos. I was like, I'm gonna ask that guy, and he showed me a bunch of stuff. And I first got into I was really into thrash metal, like older Sepultura and stuff like that. But it was meeting up with the group of friends that I ended up having in Pittsburgh. They were outcasts like me, and I finally found this group of people that's all they did. When they had a party at their house, like 60, 70 people, it wasn't like nice music. It was like, we're going to listen to Suffocation. And it was all these people. And I was just like, oh, wow, there's other people like me that like this style of music, and it doesn't turn them off as soon as you hear it. Because whenever we would be at my house and my roommates, as nice dudes as they were, as soon as I put on music, they would just start complaining. And I'm like, listen, I had to listen to your fucking Soul Coughing album for the 9 millionth time. Shut the fuck up. We're listening to this once. Like, get over it, So, I mean, there was always that. I guess there was always that stigma also. It's like if you had friends that did not like that style of music, then it was very hard to, have interactions with them outside of just like anything other than listening to music, because there was always like the rap people. Like and don't get me wrong, I have an appreciation for rap, but like I still don't understand. I still don't get it for some reason. I just don't get it. Like I'm like, all right, hey, cool. That's cool. You can like that. It's just not for me. So, how, like, in what age group did you start seeking out like new music? Was it internet age, or did you guys have like your record store that you would go to, or people that you would talk to? Gray?
So yeah, I'm definitely pre like internet. I mean, we had Napster and shit, but everything was mislabeled, and it was just so hard to find anything. Like, I don't know, it'd say whatever band you're looking for did a cover, and was it? I don't know. I remember getting my first couple System of a Down albums that way, but I don't know. I was really closed-minded, and I just wanted like punk up until I was like 18 or 19. And then I don't know, just something kind of a switch flipped, and I just started getting into the heavier shit, and I just really got into it. But yeah, it had to be on album. Weirdly enough, cassettes were super popular, even though the technology was long outdated. But man, we could get our hands on cassettes, and we could. Yeah, I think that was it.
Tapes,
and
dude.
Most of our old shitty cars had cassette players. So
yeah,
I don't know. So that was kind of it. We would just pass tapes around, and it was so easy to make a tape. So
yeah, tape trading was huge for me.
Yeah, that's kind of it as far as starting, and then everything else was physical media. I had everything was pretty much CDs back then. Sadly, it was either cassettes or CDs. I wish I'd gotten more into like any sort of actual vinyl, but man, even all the punk stuff I have, it's all trash now.
So Iron, was there like a person that influenced you, or a friend, or was this you seeking something out on your own?
Well,
how did that work out for you?
For me and my particular friend group, kind of similar. I think you were saying, like, I had some of my friends were really into rap. My best friend was more into the older rock, like, so he would not go past like 89. And dude was dude was my age. So, and we were kids at the time. So this was old shit, good old shit. Nobody hates Motley Crue or GNR, Metallica, Megadeth. Good stuff, great stuff. But there's more out there. He was very, very much against the new stuff. He thought it all sounded terrible. Nothing could hand a candle to frickin' Skinnerd and in his opinion. And like I said, some of my other friends were had rap, hip hop. There were a couple of us that were metalheads. So I was kind of on my own there. I started getting into the darker, harder stuff. I mean, also, let's face it, I was a kid. I graduated in 2000. So goth chicks were hot back then, and they were different. That was a new thing. That was new. So that may have been some inspiration, but yes, no internet. I did not get my first personal home computer and with internet access till I think I was 16, 17. I had to like get a job and buy it myself. Right. By that time. And when I did get it, just like Ray was saying, it was file sharing, Napster, ICQ, all that crap.
I still have my ICQ number.
But I lived in I wouldn't change it for the world, because there were record stores. We had a place right down the street from where I lived then and where I live now, called Famous Video and Music. It's long gone, but they had all the old, from vinyl, vinyl tapes, CDs. CDs were kind of the new thing, video games, all that. So that was my go-to place. There were some pretty cool people working there. But they also had a big area in the back with independent local music.
Ooh, there you go.
And with a bulletin board, a big, I mean, there wasn't just like a little, it was like about the size of like the dry erase board you would see in a classroom.
Oh, okay. Where
all these flyers and shit. And so
awesome.
motivation being, I bet there'll be chicks there. One.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
This might be cool. I'd usually go, as a kid, so I didn't know much. I'd go by whoever used the best art on their flyer, and it was on a weeknight where I could lie and make up a story to get to go, was the one I would usually attend. But so start going to these local shows, and I got real into concerts. That's how by the time I graduated high school, I'd seen a lot of the bands you would expect multiple times, from Metallica, System of a Down, Static X, the Deftones. I know not exactly metal, but a personal favorite.
Dude, I love the Deftones.
Awesome.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Deftones are
and
Violent
phenomenal.
Summer.
Yes.
Another Godsmack. I saw them at least 8 times.
I could do without them.
Yeah, not great, but not bad either.
Hey,
could be worse.
That's the thing. It's your personal preference. You know what I mean? Like that's
for sure.
That's the great thing.
My
with
taste
music.
sucks.
Like, no, that doesn't mean your taste sucks, because I don't like Godsmack, but it doesn't.
They were there.
But here's the thing, it doesn't bother me that someone does. Like, it doesn't. At least I look at it like this. At least they were out there and they played their instruments and they made songs. You have to respect that, regardless if I didn't like the music or not. It doesn't matter. They were out there. So, they made fucking money playing music. That's the dream, man. Like, that's the fucking dream.
Exactly. So it was a mix from the bigger bands to the smaller local bands, and that's how I got into the harder stuff. Is really just whoever was really good live, I'd get really into. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I got to see Cradle of Filth was one of the big ones that I'd always wanted to see. So seeing that was fucking incredible.
Seeing Nick Barker on drums, that's probably was he playing for them yet, or was he still only Dimmu Borgir?
This was, I want to say 90.
So they probably had
99.
I can't remember their lineups.
So I wouldn't. I don't remember.
Before.
It was probably before. Yeah. That dude's a monster on drums. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Just everything was so fast and so fucking theatrical and cool, man. That was a good one. I don't remember who was on drugs. I don't care. It was great.
So yeah, I think for me, it was word of mouth and like these friends that I knew, because they opened up a whole new world to me, like hearing death metal. When I first heard like Despise the Sun from Suffocation, I was just like, what in the fuck is this? This is amazing. And going to shows with them, and Pittsburgh, you know, it has a very small death metal scene. People will probably say, oh, it's big. No, it's comparatively it's not. But everybody knew each other. So like we would go to random, you know, Pittsburgh might be a city, but 5 minutes outside of Pittsburgh is nothing but fields, nothing but, you know. So there was a lot of shows that were like how I guess like raves would be in the middle of nowhere. I went to a lot of Lethal Prayer shows in the cornfields, and that's
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was, you know, a lot of drugs and a lot of drinking beer. So it was like I perfectly fit in. And it wasn't until I'd say about 2002 when high-speed internet came out that changed, in my opinion, that changed the game, because I was already married at that point, and we had our first child, and he was, you know, all right. So I was staying at home a lot more. Now my wife was awesome, because like our deal was, you know, if I want to go somewhere and I want to do something, we're going to make it happen. Same for her, though. If she wants to do something, go somewhere, we're going to make it happen. There was never a, why didn't you come home this night? You're supposed to be here. It's like, look, we're young. We have kids. We wanted to have kids young. So when we were like 40 years old, we wouldn't have to raise children. And it was like the internet and going on different message boards, when you could hear music from all sorts of different people, and people were sharing music, and it was like hearing that one band for the first time. It was like, wow, I'm a fan of this now. And there was a lot of bands that I got introduced to because of other people that I met online early on in like like SMN News Forum, like Sins Metal News. That was a huge forum back then. It had like so many bands on it. And there was, you know, the regular death metal general discussion board. And there was so many people on there just posting music so illegally. Just we had a fucking thread that got taken down by so many bands, because we would just hop from band forum to band forum and just put a you send it thread or a mega upload thread, and just people just were sharing like full discographies of
Holy shit.
oh, dude, it was fantastic. And you know, I ended up buying most of the stuff. Just if I liked it, I wanted to own it too. Like I wanted to have that, you know, that's that actual physical CD. But so like what was the band that you would say probably influenced you the most, or might even be your it might not even be your favorite metal band, but what was the band that influenced you the most, Gray? Or that you took to the most?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So I think the one that has kind of stuck with me throughout the years, they're not exactly death. So I guess what really things to me about music is kind of mixing of genres, and this is kind of the mixture of punk where it meets hardcore, but at the same time it's meeting thrash, and then it's also, I guess people have called them math, but they're not really mathy. But man, Converge. I don't know why, but
Converge,
something about East Coast kind of hardcore from like the early 2000s. Something about that just like really speaks to me. But their way of how heavy they were able to go, how they were able to use like blast beats as just like an accent, but it wasn't actually shaping everything. Something about that really drew me in, where a lot of they were really the ones that kind of broke me out of my shell of like I can only listen to punk. About the time that really got me in, just man, that opened it up. And it's specifically the song Conduit. Just man, that thing, it got under my skin and was like this earworm, the way that they're able to take this like almost Slayer like riff and then turn it into like a hardcore yell along by the end of the song. Just man, that really got to me. And yeah, I think they're the ones that kind of influenced me the most. Something about Kurt Ballew's guitar playing, just
yeah,
man,
dude. Jane Doe was in constant rotation for me.
That
album.
album like changed me, but man, I didn't know how you could possibly follow that up. And then they did You Fail Me, which is all about his divorce, and just
yeah, very good.
Man, those two are like the S tier Converge albums for me. But yeah, they're the band that I've kind of stuck with the most, and I've just always followed them. And I got my nose busted at their concert. I think that was like the second or third time I saw them. But yeah, it was right after Dimebag got shot, and this straight edge band opened, and they dedicated their set to the guy that shot them, or shot Daryl. So I don't know, man. I was just pissed off, so I was just running my mouth at him. And like the second Converge played their last note, just this mob just kind of like jumped on me. And this one dude who had these rings all across. It wasn't exactly brass knuckles, but it's one of those rings that connect all your fingers. Just man, I just heard my nose and felt it pop.
Either way, it wasn't regular fists.
It was not, but man, yeah. So I don't know, and even then, having that be, you know, a standout moment in my teens, still one of my favorite bands. So I think Converge for me.
Iron, what about you, bro?
Man, this will probably sound. I'm not going to have any nearly as cool a story as that. So thanks, Gray. It's just going to be the one band I always have to go back to. Probably a little too mainstream for you guys, but that is Typo Negative.
No, that's the
that is just
there's no
such a unique voice.
For me. There is no judgment on whether it's you know, too mainstream or not. It's what you liked. That's what got you to the dance. So
the shit they did was just so fucking. I mean, there was a lot. I was real into, you know, I was more into the goth metal scene there for a while. So like Marilyn Manson, all that good stuff.
I will say this,
definitely some of the industry.
I had a roommate that he loved Typo Negative. The only song I didn't really care for was My Girlfriend's Girlfriend.
Oh,
he looks like you.
I remember that.
But all the other stuff,
not a great song.
Like all the other stuff, like he played like what was that, Black Number 9? Like that's a good song.
Black Number 1.
Black Number 1. That's what it is. That riff in the bass riff in the beginning.
I think that's the thing, man. I tried to learn. I fucked around with bass there for a while. It's my favorite instrument, so that's why that version of metal is the kind of the moodier goth shit always kind of stuck with me, especially at that age. But fucking just for me, Typo Negative just defined the 90s when I grew up. So that's always gonna be.
You gotta respect Peter Steele, man.
Spot. Dude, yeah.
How do you not?
R.I.P. Peter Steele.
Dude got more pussy
Fucking
than
monster.
everybody combined.
And I swear to God, motherfucker wasn't an inch less than 7 feet tall.
Dude,
I've never seen a guy that big.
Dude
I
was
think
huge.
that's what the voice he had. Dude. I've always been drawn to the unique vocalist. So like,
Yeah.
Cradle of Filth, definitely unique. Typo Negative. He sounds like a giant.
Yeah. He's got
The
that
ridiculously thick
crazy
voice.
bass voice. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Even Manson's got a different, real unique voice. So, but yeah, Typo Negative. I can't hear that without the nostalgia just almost wrecks me sometime, man. It's like those were better times.
For me, it was Slayer because I was just not I liked Metallica, but I just wasn't. I don't know. There was just something about Slayer. Like the first time I heard Rain and Blood, and I was just like, wait a minute.
Man.
This is like a huge platinum album, but it's fucking 24 minutes.
How was it all in 24?
I was just like, Jesus Christ. But when they lost Dave Lombardo, I was like, man, this sucks. It's over. But then Divine Intervention came out. And I still say if Divine Intervention had Dave Lombardo on it, even though Paul Bostaff is a monster, I don't like his double bass. I think it's very uneven and it doesn't sound right. But Divine Intervention has some of the baddest ass riffs. Like some of them are just like you listen to like Killing Fields, I think
that's my favorite song.
I mean,
to be honest.
Yeah, there's just some really, really good ones, man. And
I don't disagree with you. It's just the production for me. Like,
right.
I want the other sound, but
no,
fair enough.
I understand. I'm with you on that. I don't like drum sound. I don't like. I really, really don't like that you can't hear the bass in the mix at all. Like you could on the old records. But there's just something about those riffs, and I can put that CD on, and as much as I hate the drums on it, I just do. Especially like Sex Murder Art, you hear it whenever it comes in, and you listen to it, man. You hear the double bass, and it's like even at first, and then like it just sounds like it's sputtering off like a fucking muffler on a Model T. It sounds terrible, and I'm like, I was like, you guys had John Deddy, and you fucking picked this fucking guy, like, why? Why would you do that? But for honestly, one of my favorite bands, I wouldn't classify them as metal, but was Primus. Primus was like the band for me.
Again, if you like bass, you gotta love Les Claypool.
I've seen Primus probably 30 to 40 times. Probably. I've probably seen them that many times.
I haven't seen them that much, but I think I'm in the double digits.
I've seen them probably maybe double digits at the least 5, at the most 10 or 11. I honestly lost count.
I started seeing them around 96. It was I know it was Tales from the Punch Bowl tour. I know it was that. Yeah. So I don't know. There was always something about them. That's the one band that from my youth that I can go back and listen to it all the time. But my favorite, I wouldn't say my favorite, but one band that I thought that changed music, and not for the better, because we're getting that whole gent scene out of it, which I just don't care for at all, was Sick.
Man. Paul Mutes are awesome.
Dude, when the first The Trees Are Dead and Dried Out, Wait for Something Wild came out, I've never heard anything like that in my life. I'd never heard any music like that before. The polyrhythms just like all in your face while still being in time. I was just like, what in the fuck am I listening to? And it was so cool. And like having two singers trade off back and forth. And it was just something very neat. And they took what, Meshuggah started, but put like, I don't know how to explain it, because Meshuggah is just like trying to solve algebra. And I'm not good at algebra. So. And I like Meshuggah, but this was more like an up-tempo, fast beat stuff. And I was just like, man, when you can hear the first song, Sent to the Obscene, off of The Trees Are Dead and Dried Out, and it's like, damn, dude. And then they came back with, in 2006, they came out with Death of a Dead Day and Bland Street Bloom and those songs. And I was just like,
Bland Street Bloom is the one that got me into those guys. That song is just, man.
And then
awesome.
If you listen to on that CD, Another Sinking Ship, I'm like, it blows my mind that these dudes write, and it's so clean too. It's so clean There's not like they sound exactly like that live. Obviously, it's not going to be as produced, but they hit all the accents, all the ghost notes. The drummer's just a fucking machine. And I'm just like, good Lord, dude. Like that to me was like huge in my, in my 20s. Cause I was still back then, still like trying to go out and search for new music and what was new. But it spawned so many. Cause I remember that you guys know the band Periphery, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Oh yeah.
When those dudes, when like Misha Mansour and Jake Bowen, they used to post on the Between the Buried and Me board, right? They used to post on there, and he like Misha went by this thing called Bulb. That was like his side project stuff. He would post, and I remember he wrote. I still remember the post he wrote. I wrote a sixth song, and it was the song Insomnia from their first album, and I was like, God damn it. Like, here it goes. And they blew up so big. And I'm like, God fucking Christ. Yeah, palm muting out the ass. Let's just fucking do that all day. But hey, if you like it, you like it. That's your thing. But those three bands, I would say Slayer, Primus, and Sixth were probably very influential on what I was looking for, what I was listening to. So
damn. I misunderstood the question. I thought it was a single band. In
No,
that case, I'd say like SST Records, like influenced me, man.
For me,
Anything
it was,
from like
it was Slayer, but I was expounding upon it. It was Slayer.
So I started with SST, like Black Flag, Minutemen, anything like that. Probably moved to like Subhumans, and then finally was able to get out of like the punk thing into Converge. So that was my thing. And then from there, I think my real gateway was kind of again Rain and Blood. Man, that album is just amazing. Lombardo forever.
I like Dave Lombardo. I thought his out like him playing on Testaments the Gathering was fucking amazing. That album is so good. So good. I wanted them to tour, but they didn't do live touring with him, so that sucked. But another band that was very instrumental was Death. I mean, dude, like fucking individual human through like Symbolic, those albums, like Individual Thought Patterns, Sound of Perseverance too. Like Jesus Christ, dude. Chuck Schuldiner was a monster. That dude was incredible. Yeah. But I think for me, like when I listened to that the first time when I heard Slayer and I heard, South of Heaven, and I was just like, man, there's like, I don't know, there was just something about the energy in that music, like if you watch something like UFC, the intro for it used to be like this heavy ass fucking, guitar riff, and it would get you pumped up. And like, I don't know, I would just listen to that for, like that album for a lot of different things. And I think that was probably the most instrumental band for me personally. But like as I got older, I started venturing out into different stuff, because for a while there, dude, all I was listening to was like thrash metal. That was like it. But like Ace Ventura and seeing when he asked who was he asking that was there, he was like, is someone here? And the dude's just doing the headbang. He's like, alrighty then. That's fucking phenomenal. But have you guys ever seen Cannibal Corpse live?
Yes. I never got to see it with the OG singer, but I also got to see Metalocalypse, so I feel like I've seen the new guy a couple times.
I've never seen is that the name of the band or is that the show?
Both.
Death Clock is the band. Sorry. They were touring under Metalocalypse.
Right. And was that when Gene Hoglan was still in it? Or was that when someone else? Dude,
yeah, that was really cool, man. They did this whole thing with like these screens that they got to project it on, but yeah, it was awesome.
Still kind of cool though. It's still really cool. And I saw a lot of Gene Hoglan, like Strapping Young Lad. I got to see a bunch of times. That was a lot of fun. Like Devin Townsend's just a fucking crazy person. And that was another band that I loved a lot, man. Strapping Young Lad. I thought Alien was one of their best records. And
I wanted to get into those guys so bad. They've got a couple songs that I really dig, but I don't know. It was something about I just couldn't quite get over it. But I understand Devin Townsend's very talented. Just
I don't like his solo stuff. I just don't like the solo stuff. But Alien I 100% love, and I love City as well. City is I thought was awesome. I thought City was a
And I
great
just
album.
love Gene Hogland, and man, that dude does a lot with him. So, or it did.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, man, I think I think for me, I think also, you know, the metal that back in the day, whenever there was Headbangers Ball, I thought that you
Oh
know,
shit.
as much as it got diluted, but seeing Headbangers Ball and Beavis and Butthead, that was like, you know, that was a big thing for metal to cross like that into the mainstream. Because there was some bands on those shows you would get like Cherry Pie and then fucking She's Only 17, and then they would play like fucking, you know, some like None So Vile or something. You're like, what the hell? What, who's picking
Well,
this?
and depending on which era, they got a little bit more heavy. You know, wasn't pretty sure Jamie Josta was hosting it at one point. I know I saw Hatebreed on Headbangers Ball, but
I never saw.
Yeah,
I never
man,
saw Jamie Josta do it, but I think
okay.
I was.
Maybe I'm
I think
wrong.
I was. No, you could be right because I stopped watching it at some point. I know that, like before it was even before Ricky Rackman was done with it. So,
Oh, yeah, it was definitely way after that.
it was always weird to see like when they would do like the Headbangers Ball like party, and you would see like Slayer and Megadeth and all these bands, and then you would see Sugar Ray at the house, and I was like, what,
Right.
why is he always there? He's always there. Am I missing something here?
He
Like,
lived
what am I
there.
missing?
He was paying rent.
He was probably, yeah, he probably
did
paid for
grounds
everything.
work on the side.
So who's your favorite band to see live? Who would be your favorite band to see live, Gray?
That's a good question. Man, I've had so many different experiences. You know, I think the one that I've probably seen the most is Converge. But man, every one of those shows has been so different. But sadly, they've kind of gone from headlining back to kind of being like the featured one, where it seems like they're tagging on to a slightly bigger band, which sucks. So I don't know. Those shows have kind of changed from like sweaty, tiny shows that were like put together little hardcore shows. That were some of my first experience with that stuff to I definitely saw them in an arena last time, but I think they were supporting, I want to say it was Deftones the last time I saw them. But yeah, so it's awesome, but at the same time, I don't know. I wanted them to be way more commercially successful. I wanted people to love them the way that I do. But I think they'd probably be the most. Other than that, man, there's just so many different experiences. Usually with different substances have also brought about stuff. I remember A Primus show being just absolutely amazing, just tripping my balls off. But
was it the Hallucinogenetics tour in 2004? Because
yeah,
I
it would have been around
like,
that time. I think it would have been.
I ate like a half ounce of mushrooms and took like 3 mescalines and went and saw that.
I didn't have that much. I thought I had a hero's dose, but it was not that. But yeah, man,
I had a problem.
I've had fun experiences like that. I've had like shitty experiences, like a lot of weird fights and stuff. But I don't know, man. A lot of them just kind of blur together, sadly. But yeah, I think I've genuinely had the most fun at Converge shows. Those are always fun, and I just love being in the pit, man. Those are some
Iron,
fun.
what's your favorite band to see live, man?
Man, well,
or what was your favorite show, or you know, whatever?
Shit. Okay, those would be two totally different questions. So I'm gonna have to structure this out. There were two bands that I saw the most when I was teenager through, and one of them to this day. My favorite band to see as a kid, because I saw them, so they were fucking every music festival, every fucking show. They were either headlining or opening or something. Was fucking Static X. They were just fucking everywhere, and they were fucking incredible. And it was great. And now that, you know, that's not a thing anymore, unfortunately. But then the other that is still great, they've gotten nothing but better, and I've never seen a bad show by them, is Disturbed. They are just fucking hands down fucking, you know, no matter what you think of them, every show they're 100% on. Slipknot is a lot of the same way. I don't even own any Slipknot albums, but I've seen them so many times, and they're just freaking incredible every time.
I have a vendetta against Slipknot because I went to a show in 98, right? And the fucking stupid dude with the dick nose
Yeah.
He fucking got up on top of the speakers, and I'm looking up there, and the fucking dude jumped off and kicked me right in the face. And I landed in the hospital.
Oh, fuck.
I don't remember anything except I'm not shitting you. I had the bottom of a boot print on my forehead. And the doctor was like, he's like, you have a grade 3 concussion. And the funny thing is I woke up in the hospital and one of my friend's girlfriends was there. Like, she's like, you've been out for like almost a day. And I was like, what? And she was like, you also have like a giant boot print on your forehead. But that actually happened. Yeah, that actually happened. Stupid.
So that's your favorite show?
No. No, not at all.
Now, I never got kicked in the face, but I will say they put on from what I've seen, they always put on a good show. But definitely Disturbed is right. They're up on the top because they've done nothing but get better with age, in my opinion. And God, such a hard question, man, because there's a lot of those bands that I got to see. I only got to see them once because it was like you mentioned, Testament, Strapping Young Lads. That was just one and done. So putting it all together, I gotta say, as far as metal's concerned, and the heaviest stuff that I've seen on multiple occasions and the best, definitely Static X and Disturbed.
Nice.
Though Ministry was pretty good too. I saw them about 3-4 times.
I got to see them in the 90s when he was still all heroined out, and my God, dude. I was just like, what is happening on here? There was like
Ministry is fantastic.
There was like they had Marshall stacks like 15 feet in the air from the ground, and he had this giant fence that was in front of him, and he was just walking around like this the whole time. And fucking, I was just like, what am I? And Jello Biafra was there, and I was just like, what is happening? But that was awesome. That was scary too, man, because some scary people like Ministry. I saw this dude. This is no shit. This dude was like all of like 6'10". His mohawk was taller than I was. And like he was built like he was in jail for 20 years. This dude was immense, and he was just throwing people. And the place that you see bigger shows in the Pittsburgh area is a place called it used to be called Star Lake Amphitheater. Well, the lawn seats is literally a hill that goes like this. Like, not that steep, but you know what I'm saying. This dude was just chucking dudes. And I was just like, I am not getting in there because I weigh 140 pounds. And I'm pretty sure I make a good frisbee for that guy. But that seeing Ministry was crazy. But I'd say my favorite show of all time, it was a Primus show. It'd probably be Hallucinogenetics Tour, because I mean, as fucked up as I was, I actually still remember it. I still remember it because they did like a best of first, and then I got to see them play that show 3 times. And the first time they did Sailing the Seas of Cheese as their second set. They did the whole album. Then the second time I saw them, they did Frizzle Fry. And then the main time I wanted to see is they did Pork Soda, which I was just like, this is amazing. I got to see him do DMV live and Hamburger Train, which I was just very ecstatic for. That was probably my favorite show, but I've seen them a shit ton. Seeing Tool back in like the 90s was so good. Man.
I almost passed out at a Tool show. Great times.
That's awesome. I saw them at Ozfest 98. That was probably, I think that might have been the first time I saw him, actually.
That's for me. Ozfest was my first experience with Tool.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Didn't see him again until the Enema tour.
Okay. Yeah, I saw them for that, and then I saw them for Lateralis, which was like, I think it was like 2001 or something like that. It was a while in between shows. Somewhere. But seeing Tool was awesome. But seeing Sick in like 2008, because they're from England, they didn't come over here. So their first album, which was like super special to me, was like, I was like, damn, dude. And like the people on their forum there's 3 people from their forum I still talk to this day. I still talk to these two dudes and this one girl. And they like would send me videos of like how they played on stage and all this stuff, and they would do it, and I'm like, damn, I want to see it. And finally in 2008 they came to the States and they headlined a tour with a couple of other bands that I thought were pretty cool.
I think I saw him on that tour because I saw him once and it was right around that time.
Yeah, it was like they were with why can't I remember? But yeah, I know it was 2008, but it was cool because they used to post on their forum. So I got to hang out with them and they were like, "You're the American that's been on our forum since we've been out. Hi, golly good chap. In it. It's him,
awesome.
It's in it." And I was like, yeah, dude. I took a bunch of pictures with him and shit. And it was cool to meet him. I tried not to act like an idiot, but I was fucking hammered. Like hammered, dude. That was during my opiate and drinking days, which didn't lead to anything good. So I did throw up in their bathroom, which was awesome.
Hey, they're rock stars. They're used to it.
Yeah. No, he kept they kept making fun of me because I threw up. Like, how many beers you had, you little tosser? And I'm just like, I don't know, like 40. I think my blood is made of beer at this point. But there was like a bunch of us from my little group of friends that went, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. But that was cool. But one other really cool show that I got to see, which I was so geeked for, it was Necrophagist, and they were headlining, and it was like Ion Dissonance, Alarum, and Arsis, right? So I was like, oh, that's a great lineup. Well, Ion Dissonance didn't show up because something happened with their Canadian passport. So Muhammad from Necrophagist is like, hey, we're just going to play both albums. So I hope that's cool with you guys. And I was like, yes, it is. This is fantastic. And I just stood right in front of him and just sat there like this.
That's awesome. They gave you the money's worth. Like, fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah. And Epitaph from Necrophagist. I mean, I don't know if there's better guitar work in a death metal album. I don't know. I can't think of any. Dude's clean as shit. Plus the bassist on there is just like, dude, and I watched him, and he's left-handed too, which was crazy to watch him play that fretless bass. Yeah, it was really cool, man. And that lineup, dude, was just so cool to see. And I was like, fucking A, dude. I would have liked to see an Ion Dissonance, but like I could see, 8-string tuned down guitars anytime I want. You're not going to see Necrophagist all the time in the United States.
It's a good trade, man. I would take that trade.
Yes.
Shit, hearing your guys' stories actually reminded me of like some good stories, not just like, yeah, I saw this band a bunch. One of the most memorable ones was when I saw Slayer. They were doing a Rain and Blood tour, but it was like, it had to be like around like 2003 or something like that.
But the Still Raining tour? Was that what?
I think it was that, but man, they were playing like whatever the newest album was, and then they were doing Rain and Blood front to back, and they had Lombardo on the tour. So it was fucking awesome. I think it was one of the last few times, but the second they go into Angel of Death, just that first, like I literally watched the guy in front of me just get punched in the face and just knock the fuck out. And then they had to bring in like paramedics and like come and get this dude, like carry him out. It was just like the most metal experience I had. And just, man, that was really fun. One of the best shows that I've ever been to, it was supposed to be Slipknot, but Corey got some sort of like laryngitis or something like that. So they canceled the show day of, but everybody had already come to my city. So they're like, okay, well, the other two bands can just play. And it happened to be Shadows Fall, which, I've seen them way more than I'd like to, but they're usually tagging along or we're opening for somebody. And they happen to be opening for Lamb of God. So like they did it for this tiny, tiny, tiny club. Like I think it's maybe supposed to have like 300 people in it.
That's fantastic.
And I swear to God, there's like 1,000 people. Like it was just weird. It took me like 20 minutes to get from the door just to like in front of the stage. And then
hanging from the
that pit was crazy. Like it felt like the entire room was moving. It was just, that's one of my favorite, I don't think it can be recreated experiences. Just, man, they were way too big to be playing a room that small, and it was awesome. And then my favorite concert experience ever, I didn't know either of these bands. Just my one buddy is like, come on down to this club, like it's an awesome show. So I came in, and the band that was playing was Daughters, and I knew nothing about them. They have this one album, Hell Songs, that's just amazing. It is chaotic synthy, and then they've got like this dude doing a weird like Elvis impression for like the vocals on it, and it sounds like it doesn't work, but my god, does that work. And it's very along the lines of the headlining band, which I knew nothing about, and it just like blew my mind. But the Locust were the ones who were headlining this.
I know who
if you guys
Daughters
know
is.
the
I don't know.
Locust.
I don't know who the Locust is.
Really?
But I know Daughters.
So if you imagine them cranked up to like 11, that's Locust. Like these dudes wear
Jesus
these Locust
Christ.
costumes, and just, man, it is crazy. Like 45-second songs, some of them titled like the half-eaten sausage would like to see you in his office. Just like weird, crazy shit. And man, that show just like blew my mind. Those two bands, I think it's just one of the best shows I've ever seen, and it was during a special era for both of those bands.
The half-eaten sausage.
I got to be honest, I've never heard of either one, but I'm definitely going to look them up now.
They're both great.
So that's what I was going to get into next. Has there been bands that you never heard of that you ended up seeing live that you became fans of? Because there was a couple for me. So I was at Mr. Bungle, right? I saw Mr. Bungle, which was
Bungle.
great. They toured, and this was when they reformed again. This was after California, because I saw them in 99 or 2000. It might have been 2000 for the Snow Core tour. And it was like Mr. Bungle, Incubus, and some other, I don't know. But it was awesome to see them play Ars Moriendi live. I was like, this is fucking amazing. But I saw Mr. Bungle, and this band came out first. They're called Radiation 4, right? And they had on all these like mad scientist fucking get up, but dude, the music was fucking phenomenal. And they have this album called Wonderland, and it's amazing. And then they broke up like literally a year later, and they only have that one album, and you can find it. It should be on YouTube. But man, even the riff from the Wonderland song is fucking crazy. Or When Animals Attack, just a crazy band that I never would have seen, never would have heard of. But that was one band I could think of, like, went to a show to see, the main band, and ended up actually, I would have loved to seen them again live. I would have loved to see them, because I didn't fully appreciate it, because I didn't know what the hell I was seeing. So is there one like that for you, Gray, or is there any bands that you got into because you saw them live?
I would say both of those, Daughters and Locust. Like, I just had no clue what I was going into, and it just instantly hooked me. Other than that, like, I'm not kidding. Like, almost every show I've gone to, I find something that I really dig in a band. And man, kind of touring locally, there were so many bands that I think deserved so much more recognition than they got. But yeah, man, I think the main two that come to mind that I think deserve better were both Daughters and Locust.
Iron, do you ever have something like that happen?
Oh, all the time. Because I would just go to show. I would just pick out a show and just go. And most of the time, the bands I saw were really good. A lot of them probably nothing more than like local bands that you're never going to hear about again. But nothing. None of them really came to fruition that I noticed. I couldn't even tell you all their names off the top of my head. But then one of them, right when I was starting to kind of get off the just Metallica and Megadeth and Guns N' Roses, pretty much all that existed, I was going to this local t-shirt. Like it was almost like Hot Topic, but cool. It was called Tease Me Rockwear in Las Vegas in the 90s, run by a really nice hardcore metal Indian couple in their mid 40s.
That's awesome.
She had the giant fucking hair, wore the tightest leopard print shit, had big knockers out to here. And the other dude fucking just straight lace, thick Indian accent, button up shirt, but they were both metal as fuck. And they gave me and a couple of my friends tickets to Testament. Never heard of them, never saw them. They're like, oh, Metallica, go watch this. You'll like this much better. Went and saw Testament for the first time and fucking like, oh, fuck yeah. These guys are eating Metallica's fucking breakfast. This is great. Fuck
dude,
this.
Testament, when they changed over from what they were to when they start the album Low, it started with Low, and then they kept progressing. And then when The Gathering came out in 98, I was just like, dude, what this is not the Testament I remember. This is something else. And my God, Lombardo just rips through that album, and getting, James Murphy and Eric Peterson on twin guitar. That's just like, what the fuck, dude? That's not even fair. That's not even fair.
And
Chuck Billy's voice changed, and it was just this demonic, like, oh my god, dude. I became an instant fan.
I'm still massive fan of Testament, always will be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of like getting out of the comfort zone and seeing something else. They were 100% right. This is much better.
Yep.
And I don't hate Metallica. Wait.
No, if it wasn't for Metallica's first few albums, I mean, we don't know how accepted. There were still bands back then, obviously. There was still Anthrax, Slayer, Exodus, stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
God, Exodus.
There was still stuff like that, but we don't know how far the reach would have gone. Like that Metal Blade freaking, No Life to Leather freaking sampler, whatever the hell it was, Brian Slagel's, like that put a lot of bands on the map, like a bunch of bands. And there's so many documentaries you can watch about that Bay Area, and how instrumental it was for that type of extreme music. And, for me, like, I liked a lot of that stuff, but it was a little bit before my time as listening to music a lot, because I was so sheltered growing up. And like, we had to either, because my parents were opera singers, so like it was either opera or Christian music, and it was the worst of the worst for me. Like, I can appreciate opera in its purest sense, that like I was jealous that like every single person in my family could sing except me. I am like the black sheep in every single way. Like, everybody in my family, amazing singing voices, and then there's me. Sounds like I've been smoking since I was 2, and Christian music. Listen, I'm not knocking the Lord, but my God.
But Hank Hill said it best. You're not making Christianity better. You're making rock and roll worse.
There you go. And like, the first time I heard like Christian, like death metal, I was like, this is such an oxymoron.
Oh no.
It's such an oxymoron. Like, there's
some Christian metalcore that kind of rocks. Like,
there's good music.
I'm still a fan of
like
Norma Jean and the Chariot. I don't know why. Like, I hate their ideas, and they used to get kicked off tours for like praying and shit. But
I hate their ideas.
Well, I don't know. A lot of the lyrics are kind of up their own ass, but man, are those guitars like I don't know. There's something about them, like just being so slicing and like just.
It's like,
I don't know exactly what you'd call it. Dissonance,
Striper.
Again, some of the guitars, man. But yeah, not a huge Striper
guitarists. But yeah, not a Striper guy.
It's like, why can't you just be Christian and make good rock and make metal? You don't have to intertwine the two words.
It's like, but it's like anything that takes a stand in something that becomes your whole personality. So it has to bleed over into everything you do. It's like the Iron Maiden, which is one of my favorite bands of all time. Like, Nico McBrain's a Christian.
Yeah,
you didn't hear about I'm drumming for Jesus. I am me. Huh.
Yeah.
Like, didn't hear none of that.
A lot of them were.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like just the.
I think I can honestly say I think being exposed to it at a very young age, because most of the metal fans that I met, like, they were either highly against that form of religion, or they were exposed to it at a young age and were rebelling against it. I was definitely rebelling against it. As sheltered as we were growing up, like, I mean, good God, dude. Like, I wanted anything and everything that had nothing to do with what I was being raised with, like, that's my God. It was terrible. But, that's how that's your formative years, and that's how you get to where you go. And, I mean, that's how it is. I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's so funny, dude. My parents did, like, a lot of my musical taste wasn't really at a rebellion. Some of the other stuff and a lot of like the way I dressed and everything, that was more to get girls than anything else.
No, I only had clothes that fit.
Oh God.
I didn't have a choice. It was like what my brother outgrew. And then whenever I became taller than my brother, they were like, oh, we'll just you can just, these will become shorts now. I'm like,
Right.
it's 22 degrees outside. And they're like, oh, well, that's what you got.
Shit. But like I was already watching a whole bunch of real, like they had no idea who these bands were that I was going to see. But the minute I start, Marilyn Manson starts making the fucking news, it's like, oh, you're listening to Marilyn Manson. Like, that's the one you're worried about? That fucking guy?
Yeah, dude.
I got backstage passes and met him. He was nice. He just talked a lot.
I saw Marilyn Manson and Rasputin. And
Nice.
they limited tickets because they started sounding like crazy. And there was nothing. I went with my buddy Sean, and there was all these Christian protesters outside. Yeah. And this was for the Antichrist Superstar tour.
Yep. Oh,
and it was crazy because he even said this is the smallest show that we've done. And it was in the Penguins Arena, but they only allowed like 2,500 people in. So it was like super small for what they were doing. But he did the whole thing, dude. And I was just like, oh boy. This is I never saw like a show like that. And, then I saw Gwar, and then I was like, oh, okay.
I was going to say,
that's what they're
have
going
you ever seen Gwar?
Yeah.
Those are some memorable shows, man.
Gwar, I've only seen Gwar once. And it's an experience. It's an experience.
I've seen Gwar many times.
Yeah.
Fun every time. I haven't seen him since Odorous had passed, but
it's different.
It's
I haven't seen him since, but
horrible. It's not the same.
I like the really stage theatric stuff. It's so fucking cool though. What's the best one you've seen? Like as far as the bands that go all out and do like Rob does the walking Frankensteins and shit.
I'll say this: I was very
disappointed
with seeing White Zombie. They sucked live. They did not sound good. Rob Zombie was so drunk. I heard he's a lot better as Rob Zombie, the band.
Yeah.
But my God.
I will agree with that statement 110%.
I could not hate
Rob is not good at vocals. Like or making movies.
He doesn't sing.
Like in my head, yeah. Yeah.
That's about it.
How many gas can you
You're not going for his singing abilities. You're going for the
fair
experience. Enough. Man, now good music and a great fucking like a massive spectacle of a show every time. 9 Inch Nails. Ooh, I mean, my God.
Yeah, I saw them Downward Spiral. That was interesting.
Nice.
That was cool. Iron Maiden, though, when I saw the Book of Souls tour, that stage was so cool because they kept changing stuff. And like when they did Aces High, they had like the plane come out and like he was, it's hanging off of it. And then when they started, when Eddie came out, it was great, dude. Because he was all like tribal Eddie, and they were like, they ripped out his heart and like threw it into the fucking, oh, dude. It was a lot of fun. That was, I don't know. There's something about Iron Maiden that I just love.
Dude. Oh, I know. I've seen that several times. Jim Brewer describes an Iron Maiden concerts for old middle-aged guys like a Barney or the fucking those little kid stage shows where they get little kids get so excited, the fucking the Wubbles or whatever,
the Wiggles and the
Wiggles,
like,
but it's the same thing at an Iron Maiden show. As soon as Eddie comes, everyone's like, Eddie.
It is. It's like the old man mascot.
I'm one of them.
Oh, dude, I loved it. I loved it every time. I loved it every time, man. Every single time I saw them, I was just like, this is so much fun. I don't know if you're a fan of them, Gray.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them live. I think I'd remember that.
It's almost more important to see them live than to even care about. Like, you don't even have to buy any of the albums or listen to them.
Shit.
Just go see it live. It's a big spectacle.
I've definitely seen like the DVD footage and shit, but I haven't experienced it, which I always kind of regretted. I definitely should.
I know they're doing a huge tour right now. Then they're taking a year off, which they're supposedly doing another album, which I thought Senjutsu was going to be the last one. But I think since they got a new drummer, they want to do one with the new drummer.
Makes sense.
But yeah, man, like it's got to be crazy to do a tour and you wrap up and your singer is the one that's flying you everywhere. That has got to be something, man. Like that is just something amazing. Because I watched their Flight 666 DVD, which was phenomenal to watch. Like, and you know, when they pulled out like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, and I was just like, this is amazing. Like, such a good song. And he's
few
flying
bands
them.
who have that same thing. I think what is his name? Dexter from The Offspring. Isn't he also a licensed pilot? And I think he flies.
I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about the Offspring.
It's rarefied
He is a
air.
pilot. That's funny you bring up Offspring. That is actually my first concert ever at 13 years old.
Oh hell yeah!
For the for
definitely seen
Smash.
them way too many times.
What was the one before it? Was it Ignition? What was before? What was like, because their first two albums were very different than the one that they were like commercially started getting popular. They were like very old, not old punk, but they were very punk sounding back then. And then they got like commercially, but a lot of my friends liked them. They went to see them all the time. I just can't remember the albums.
I think it was the one with like Gone Away and Pretty Fly for a White Guy and all that. That was when like they went real, But dudes, him and Noodle, Dexter and Noodles are both like fucking like rocket science, like literal rocket scientists. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought anyone.
Ignition was the 92 because they had the Offspring in 89, and then Ignition. That's the one that I heard the most because the Smash was the next one where they got really popular. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
a lot of people thought they were going to be a one-hit wonder. Myself included it too.
Dude, they're still going at it.
And honestly,
wasn't even born like when they
songs are still
had their heyday. He just went and saw them and was bragging. It's like, really? So fair enough. They're still popular. I'm trying to think who like the biggest spectacle I've ever seen. It's probably like a tie. Tool on the 10,000 Days tour was pretty
crazy.
It was pretty crazy, and somehow it was really stupid. My buddy, just like I don't know, like a mystic or like some sort of, I don't know, divine seer was just like, no, we don't stand in this line. Just keep walking towards the front. And I'm not kidding. Like the second we got to the front of this giant line that was going like way around the block, the lady was just like, all right, everyone line up behind these guys. So like, I had no idea why, but we literally got to be like the first ones in. So it was really cool. But man, there was this really awesome band that was playing there that day too, Tweakbird. I haven't seen those guys since then, but man, those guys were awesome. I wish they had more popularity, but yeah, I almost passed out in that concert. Like for some reason, we were able to get like right up front, and just the bass was just overwhelming, and just man, that just I could feel my eyeballs like vibrating on a lot of those songs, and just it was good times. But I think the next biggest spectacle would probably be like Flaming Lips. Actually, like the singer of their band like comes out on this giant unicorn and like rides into the audience, this rainbow unicorn. Man, they do like a ton of theatrics.
I just remembered the Darkness. I saw them.
Very theatrical.
The dude came out on a giant cloud with tits on it. Like literally floated around the stadium.
You know what's funny?
Yeah. And I was just like, what?
That album is actually so fucking good.
Front
to back, man.
That dude, I could tell you what, man, like the fact that I've seen clips of them now and he could still hit those falsettos, and I'm like, bro, like that had to destroy your voice, man. That had to have. Another band that I saw that was very theatric. Now, and this was, you'd have to look this up. This is one of the worst bands I've ever seen, right? I'm not shitting you. It's funny that I say shitting. So we were seeing, it was a local show, and there was two bands on there that I was just like, what is this? And there's a band called Shet. Okay. These dudes came out and they were in bondage gear, but everything had dicks. like dildos, every all over them, and every song was like a fucking reference to like sluts, and like they had, instead of bingo, they had fat hoe. Yeah,
Huh.
there was a
They're high
hoe and
concept.
she was fat, and fat hoe was her name-o. Like, dude,
Oh
they
my
have
God.
videos of this shit, and it was the fucking worst thing I've seen, but I was dying. I don't even remember what else. I just remember seeing these guys and being like, what in the fuck am I watching? Why am I seeing this? Like, what? And it was like, they did like, these songs are like a minute long, and they did like 50 of them, and I'm like, get away, get off the stage. Yeah, dude, they had dicks everywhere. So that was pretty theatrical.
Yeah.
I've got to say, we've already mentioned the obvious ones: Manson, Iron Maiden, Gore, but the two that I think were the coolest ones, Green Jelly, and then of course Alice Cooper, because
Green
Alice
Jelly,
Cooper
dude.
started it all.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Green Jello home video when it was still Green Jello. That was so
Yeah.
good, dude. So good. So good. Them
It
making
was
fun of
fucking
Red Hot
amazing.
Chili Peppers with the tripping on ecstasy song. So good, dude. So funny. He was still doing shows every week at that club that he owned up until, like, I don't know if it was just a couple years ago. Like every single Friday, Green Jelly
shit.
was still doing shows somewhere in California. I saw him on Vice. Like, it was like the guy who's the head of Green Jello. And it's funny that, like, you know, Danny Carey played drums on their first album, and Maynard was the
I was gonna say Maynard was
the not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Yeah. And like, you know,
yeah,
there was
they
so many
toured
ties to
through
other
my
bands,
city
too.
not too long ago, man. Like,
Yeah.
crazy not too long ago.
Like,
Yeah,
when I
I
first
saw them in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
that probably was the
Hell
best
yeah.
thing going
It
on
was
in
so
Tulsa,
fucking cool.
Oklahoma.
Oh, to be honest, dude, that's the thing, man. I grew up in Vegas, but I have extended family in Northwest Arkansas and the Oklahoma area. And then I actually moved there in my 20s to be closer to family and help out and stuff. But I saw a lot of great fucking bands there. Tool came through, fucking Misfits.
I mean, it's a major city, right? It's a major.
Oh yeah.
It's a major hub. So I mean, that's
yeah,
like,
they got a great local scene. Yeah, there's Tulsa, and then Joplin, Missouri is another good one. And if you're into punk rock, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Wow, I'd never think that.
You would not
Yeah.
think, but fucking that is probably the most punk rock little town. Like, they got a massive scene out there, or at least they did in the early 2000s through the 2000 teens when I was there.
That's crazy. But you never, you know what I mean? You never know. You never know. Like Allentown, Pennsylvania, huge punk rock scene. Huge. Saw many punk rock bands there. Like, it's crazy. And it was like they were trying to recreate like what those clubs were like. Like, literally, when you go in, you wait, it's like this like bricks and then this little door, and you walk all the way down this thing, and it's just nothing but like flyers and posters and all this stuff, and like anarchy, all this crazy shit. And you go in, and it's like this little club with this little stage, and they had like the wiring around the stage. And it was like, it was cool as hell, man. It was really, really neat to see some of the bands there. And like, I saw the Refused there. Like, that was really cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which was awesome. Yeah, dude. Those
Dude,
guys
I saw Obituary in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Oh my god, dude! I saw Obituary with Napalm Death.
That would have been awesome.
That was much grindy. The other show that I saw that was very grindcore-ish was the second Napalm Death show with Animosity. And dude,
I love Animosity.
Fucking Terror Storm. That song just rips your balls off. Like, my god, dude, those dudes are so much fun. So much fun.
I was
nice guys,
fan
too.
of them.
Nice guys, too. Very nice guys. Which is like the weirdest thing. Like, dude, I saw Macabre, the fucking serial killer band that sings about serial killers. I saw Macabre at a place in Pittsburgh called Club Laga, right? So I wasn't old enough to drink yet, right? And this was like right during Sinister Slaughter. So it was like 95, 96. And I'm standing off by the merch table, which you could still see the stage because it's just a little open area, and then they have a bar back here. And so I'm just standing there, and I'm just like, the first band came out, and it sounded like they were playing War Pigs for like 27 minutes, and I didn't care about them at all. This little dude stands next to me, and he's like, "Hey man, what are you here to see?" And I was like, "Macabre." And I looked over, and it was the drummer from Macabre, because they all have these hilarious names, like the singer's Corporate Death, the fucking bassist is Nefarious, and the drummer's called Dennis the Menace. And I was like, holy shit, dude, you're Dennis the Menace. And I talked to him for a good while, man. He was a really nice guy, really nice dude. And yeah, man, like, it's just crazy that you get to meet a lot of those people that you see in those clubs, because like they're not like these huge venues where you don't have access to them. Like when I saw Hate Eternal, right? And fucking, it was on their first CD. And when they walked in, dude, it was like the funniest shit, because all of them are like 6'6", and they all wear like the fucking combat boots with like the shin guards like up, and they have like the spikes and shit. They're all walking in a single file. It's like the stormtroopers are here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at this. And then they came on and just ripped ass for a while. And I was like, good Lord, dude. That first CD of theirs was fucking amazing. I liked it. Morbid Angel, too. Morbid Angel's another band. Oh, yeah. Dude, I saw Morbid Angel with Pantera and Black Sabbath in 1999. And that was awesome. That was awesome, dude. It was before Morbid Angel had split up into like all these different, all the guys left and stuff. And it was
when Pantera
amazing
was still together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pantera was still together, and Phil was really heroined out, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, that's everything.
He was.
He
was just drinking Jack Daniels, and half the time he was laying on the ground, still singing the songs. Couldn't really understand what he was saying, but it was awesome. Man,
that's one of my biggest regrets. I never got to see real Pantera. I did see Down. I've seen Down several times. Love Down.
Down's cool.
Yeah,
great. They got a lot of great songs. So, and he put on a good show. He seemed pretty cleaned up.
Yeah, I got to see Super Joint Ritual once. Those guys were pretty cool. I like them a little bit more than Down, but yeah, I did get to see Damage Plan once. I was not as big a fan of them, but it was like a week or like 8 days before the incident, so that really sucked. But definitely remember that show.
Have you guys heard Phil Anselmo's black metal band Scour?
Yes.
I don't think I have.
I was very surprised. I thought it was going to be because he played in Necrophagia, right? He played guitars in Necrophagia, which was like, but this is straight up black metal. And I was like, God damn, he can, like, because that raspy voice, I was like, holy shit. Like, I was just taken aback. I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a scene I never really got into as much. But there are some really talented black metal bands, There's some
I'm
guys
kind of with you. I appreciate it, but it's not really.
I mean, dude, I don't like get off by hanging out in the graveyard pretending, to be corpses.
Come
like,
on,
that's just not my thing.
But makeup, it's awesome.
I will say this: looking at hilarious black metal videos on YouTube is definitely a pastime of mine. I love looking at some of the dudes just in the woods, like pretending to be scary, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
That's what makes it awesome, man.
I would be the worst guy to bring on those fucking like ghost tours. Like that's just one thing that just doesn't, like, my wife loves that shit. And everybody has been in this scenario. Everybody has a friend that likes the ghost stuff, right? And they're always like, you should watch this show. And you're like, I don't want to watch a fucking no, this is the good ghost show. Oh, the one where they find real fucking ghosts? No? Okay, shut up.
I love all that shit. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think it's fucking great. It's hilarious.
Nothing happened.
I love the fictionalized ones. I kind of hate the Ghost Hunter ones where it's like, wait, did you hear that?
They're like, dude, the electromagnet went up. It's like, there's electromagnetism on everything.
Yeah, but make it a fictionalized one and show me something awesome. I love it. I'll eat it up every time.
Show me an actual ghost, and I'll be like, there you go. Or like the Bigfoot guys. Like
the big. Okay, that I'll agree with. But the ghost hunt shit, I get a kick out of that. I enjoy watching those.
And that's fine. That's fine. I would be the worst guy to bring to it. Like you put me, I don't even care, dude. If it's like the scariest prison or mental, I'll fall asleep in that shit. Like, dude, it's dark and it's whatever. I don't give a fuck. You know what? I know what's scary to me.
For some reason,
no, what's scary to me is being
insanity
homeless at
gets me.
15, sleeping with a knife because crazy Lenny's trying to steal your shirt. That's scary.
Fair
Not
enough.
Fucking ghosts that don't do anything.
I don't know, man. There's bars though, and like weird medical beds. I don't know.
Dude, I would love it. I would love it. It would be great, dude. It'd probably be the most silence I would get in fucking, I don't know, 20 years. I'd be all for it. But do you think like the genre of like the death, you know, those type of people that goes hand in hand with that style of music? Because most of the people that I've met, like you said, through the metal scene are not like that. They're not like the image that it gives off.
Yeah, I mean the few dudes that I knew that were like super black metal.
That's the one.
They were nice guys. They were not. You know, they liked the stories behind everything, but they weren't out there burning churches themselves or whatever. You know, they'll leave that to the Swedish.
Yeah, the Swedish.
But I don't know, man. Like they were cool dudes. Like my buddy Kevin was super into it. But man, he showed me some awesome stuff. Some of those black metal drummers are just like, I don't know, machine guns. Like it is crazy how fast and steady they can be. I still dig it. It's just not necessarily for me.
No, it's not for me. I appreciate it like I appreciate most music.
I might be missing. I might be off key here. So, what would you classify as some black metal bands?
Like Mayhem.
I know the band you were talking about with Phil, and I just don't. I would rather listen to Down than that shit.
Yes, but like you know, it's like those shrieking guitars, very not stylized production. Like
what would Mayhem's say? Awesome, like, man.
Mayhem.
I like Mayhem. I enjoyed it.
Burzum.
Yeah, like Gorgoth,
Gorgoroth, stuff like that. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of more. I'd have to let me look up some that I would know if I look up some of the bands. Like I'll just look up. Okay, so like Dark Throne, Emperor, Bathory, Immortal, Enslaved, Satyricon.
I like some of these. I'm not gonna lie.
And there's nothing wrong. Like Cradle of Filth and like Dimmu Borgir.
Love
they're the ones. They're the ones though that have good
So,
production. Though they have good production.
Yeah,
and they sound.
I think Dimmu
like,
is definitely more of a crossover. Like they're not 100%. Just there, but
like
love those guys. Man.
Like that album, the Purantrical, whatever that is. That album, dude. That album's awesome.
Celtic Frost. They're pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, they would be considered that.
I'm looking up a list of death. I didn't know that this would be classified. Yeah, and Cradle of Filth is right there. I'd say black metal.
I'd say the one of them that I do like was Behemoth. Behemoth, I thought was when I saw that they were fantastic. Because I saw them live before I heard them on any CD, and I was just like, God damn, that drummer can play this while dressed like that. Good Lord, imagine what he could do in the studio, like. Okay, without 20 pounds of stuff on him.
I got to admit, I think I'm not a hardcore fan of this genre, but for the most part, I do appreciate it. I think
there's nothing wrong with it.
A lot of the stuff you described you don't like about it, like, oh, they're just out in the woods trying to be scary. It's like, cool.
Yeah, I dig that part. I dig the makeup. Man, I dig the guitars and drums. Makeup, the one part that gets me is the keys. It's just a little bit too much for me with the keys, but fair enough.
I just maybe I don't know.
Man, I love the theatrics.
Maybe it's just something that like I've just always been like, I don't know. If it's not real to me, like then it just doesn't sit with me. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, right? I do not think there's anything wrong with that. But dude, you're not going to scare me in the woods. Like it's just not going to happen.
But it's so in your face. Like it doesn't have to just be that. Like Cradle of Filth. Like the reason why I met my buddy Kevin is just he had this shirt with just this giant Jesus was a cunt on it, and it's just it's Cradle of Filth merch. It's awesome.
Well, but I'm talking about the like aspect that's a cool shirt. You know, but like dudes like dressing up, putting corpse paint on and the fucking,
Well, I
like,
think
Well, that's
I
part
think
of it,
Cradle of
too.
Filth
we're
brought
gonna
a
be
little
in the
more of a-
snowstorm and we're gonna cover our tracks and we're gonna have blood coming down our
Vampires.
Like, shut the fuck up, dude. I'll punch you in your face and then there'll be real blood.
Oh yeah,
get the fuck outta here.
none of these guys could handle a real fight. Let's just be
Like,
honest.
well, just
Especially not the Cradle of Filth.
I just say because it just, like, I don't know, it just annoys the shit
Um,
out of me. But the
But
music
I think I
itself,
appreciate the theatrical aspect.
the music
of it.
itself, I don't mind at all. I don't mind.
Mm.
Like, I can appreciate it because I know what goes into creating that, and it's, it can't be easy. It cannot be easy. I think creating a good black metal album has got to be very, very hard. It's got to be very hard, especially mixing it. Could you imagine mixing one of those things? Good
Shit.
Lord. I don't even know what I'd be hearing half the time. It'd be very, very hard. But yeah, guys, like,
It's fun. So I've never done a black metal album, but I've done a bunch of metal albums. So sorry, I went to school for audio engineering. So I used to do a lot of recording and stuff. And a lot of what our clientele would be is essentially like local metal bands. So I've done a bunch of that, man. But yeah, it's those keys. That's the one thing that we usually didn't have. I'd probably screw that up somehow.
You don't like the synthesizer?
I
What about
love
the
the
key? What about the
synthesizer.
guitar?
Like it used a little bit different than like a pad, just that like I don't know. I'd rather do something.
Does angelic aura voices? You don't like that? You don't? Come on, dude. That adds
Not for
so
me.
much to the song.
It does. It's the ambiance. It really sets the mood.
It's the choir of death, bringing you past Belphegor's frost line. Don't you know? Like, come on.
I will admit it is kind of like the doily on the table, but I could do without it.
Well, I think the one thing we can all agree on is that music it brings people together as much as it separates, because there are different genres of music. The crossover, in the 90s of hip hop and rock / metal and like new metal. I don't like the subgenreing of metal, unless it sounds
There's
so
way too much.
different.
You can't keep up. At
No,
least
I
can't.
just look at it. Is it good? Do I like it? I don't care if it's black, whatever metal. Like, I don't really care. Like, as long as I like it, it's whatever. But I do understand the differences in certain things.
You
See,
say
I had
that,
so many
but
friends
You were
that
just
were-
talking shit on Gent, man. Come on.
Okay,
Gent,
well, no,
man.
I don't like the fact that spawned that many bands that all sound the same. They all sound like, because it's that palm muting and like that chugga chugga. We're gonna tune to drop D. It's the same. It sounds all the same.
We're dropping down to like A. We're going even lower. It's going awesome. We're doing 8 strings for this. I was in a gent band for a second. We didn't actually get anything like properly recorded, but the Gentleman's Club. I think we would have gone far on the name alone, but it did not work out.
The Gentleman's
But
That's great.
I was in when
know.
I was told the name. It's like, yeah, let's do this. Like, okay, I can chug, I can palm mute. Let's go.
Maybe
We
it's
got
just that I saw it happening. Like, I saw it, like, because I watched, one of the biggest gent bands form. I remember whenever those dudes, like, I remember when Misha was by himself, and then Jake Bowen, who his, uncle is John Petrucci from Dream Theater. Like, okay, let's have those genes, and I saw it form, and literally before they even had an album out, there was already like copycat bands. And it was like, Jesus Christ. Maybe it's just I had a different relationship with it. Because I remember, like, it's funny because years later, my nephews, like, when they were like 16, 17 years old, they wanted to go to a concert, and the concert they wanted to go to was Periphery. And I was like, God damn it.
Hell yeah.
And I had to go.
I'm glad that the kids are learning.
And I had to stand outside for most of it because I was like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this.
Well, okay, but that whole genre led to like one of the greatest albums. And man, sadly, this has almost the most plays out of anything like on my Spotify. But man, the soundtrack to Doom, like, just that thing is just so amazing. That whole Mick Gordon thing.
Dude, the Doom
I love it so much.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's
yes.
I yes. Okay. I'll give you that. Now, if you want to hear a real band and you want to hear a great song, I don't know if any of you have ever heard Crotch Duster. Anybody?
It
Can't
sounds
say it's what I
familiar.
have.
Okay,
I
you
can't
need
say
to
that I
go.
have.
You want to talk about mixing of genres? Go listen to Crotch Dusters Mammal Sauce. Just go listen to it and experience. Just experience it. I'm not going to say anything, but the next time you guys talk to me, I want to hear what you think of Crotch Dusters Mammal Sauce. Just from the beginning alone, you're going to be like, what is happening here? It
So,
is literally
Crotch
like
Dusters
Crotch Duster Mammal Sauce.
Mammal Sauce. All right.
Yes. Go listen to it.
down.
And it's from the album The Big Fat Box of Big Fat Box of Shit, I believe.
Oh,
It's a 7-minute song, and you will just be like, I think there's like 6 different genres in there, and it's not like genres of metal. No. And the beginning is one of the funniest fucking things, dude. And they have everybody who is a part of this album, because there's so many different guys. There's like Richard Christie's on it. There's a whole bunch of things. Like the whole album, if you listen to it as a whole album, it's like this story of this guy named Bill Williams. And it's just the stuff that happens in that album, but that song in particular. Just want to. You can even text me after you listen to it, because I want to hear. I want to hear what you think of the Mammal Sauce, and we'll end it there. We'll end it on Mammal Sauce. Go listen to Mammal Sauce, people.
Like, I've got the lyrics pulled. I'm gonna read the lyrics ahead of time.
No,
let's see.
You shouldn't. You should just listen to it.
Shouldn't?
Don't do
Okay,
it. Just
just
listen to the
listen.
song.
All
Just
right.
listen to it. Just listen
I
to
won't.
it. And I'll text you my number on X, because I want to hear what you have to say, and listen to it with headphones. I'm telling you, people, listen to it. You'll love it. And I'm not joking. You're gonna be like, this is either the most genius song ever, or these dudes are just ridiculous. They have a problem. But we're going to do this again, guys. We're going to get this trio together again, and we're going to talk about something else. I don't know what we can do or talk about, but we definitely will again. And maybe we will just have a random conversation of stuff.
Dope. Right on.
Oh, yeah.
Down, man.
Yeah. But I appreciate everybody for showing up tonight. And suck Charles couldn't get here. Gray.
Yeah, I think that's on me. I didn't tell him a time, and he's on the other side of the world. So
that's very true. That's very true. But I appreciate you guys coming and talk to me about music that influenced your life. And as we do here, we try to keep things light and fun. And yeah, man, I look forward to talking to you guys again. So, Gray, where can we catch you on the Tube, a channel place?
Yeah, in the future, check me out on my own channel, but that's for the future. For now, MSK is tomorrow, and then Thursday on That Darn Kid Is channel for the Thinkers, which is international panel. People get together, disagree about everything. I think we're going over kind of how accurate like a biopic has to be, and we're kind of talking about that Ed Gein one that just came out.
Oh,
and then
what about
there's a couple other ones that I want to bring in.
As MSK calls them, the biopsy pick.
Oh, the biopsy picks. Yeah, I think this one is a bit cancerous for me. So I don't know if you want to hear an international opinion on that. Come on over Thursday night on That Darn Kid Is YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Iron, what you got going on, sir?
Oh shit! Finally bringing back Rogues Gallery. We had a snafu last week. Got a sick dog, so
hey,
it's doing better
man.
now.
Oh.
Restructuring the show.
Good.
So what was supposed to be our last Friday show last week, well, now we're just going right to Saturday. So we'll be starting the new schedule for Rogues Gallery every Saturday at 4:35 p.m. PST. So that's when you'll be able to find me next. Then I hang out at other people's channels. I'm actually going to be on MSK's next Tuesday.
Sorry.
I was supposed to be on last Tuesday, but he double booked, pushed me back to this week. But then I had to tell him today, oh no, I already committed to something else, dude. So next Tuesday I'll be on MSK's.
Dude, when he finds out if it's this show, if he finds out, he's gonna be.
I'm gonna tell him.
I told him last night.
And you gotta tell him
I didn't know
better.
that I couldn't spill the
better.
beans.
Then
I advertised there's a better panel show, and Iron's going to be on it.
Let's see. I got a Cavecast over on Sammy Three Peats channel every Saturday morning at 11.
Which is a great
PST.
show. This is a fun
A
show.
lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ever want to join the show, just hit up Sammy. He's always looking for people with a good appreciation of the history and lore of Batman. And it's going pretty good. I enjoy being. It's the only reason I'd get up that early.
Batman, what's that?
Because let's see, it's 8 o'clock in the morning PST. I mean, for me, so I got to get up at like 7:30 on my day off, but it's worth it.
Wait, never heard of Batman though.
Right, I can tell.
Oh,
then
this,
we got
this is nothing. This is nothing. I have a full warehouse of comics.
Oh, you do? Nice.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous.
I got a pretty modest collection myself. Not a warehouse.
I think I'm missing about 2.5 years of actual Batman and about 4 years of Detective Comics.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm on the lookout, but people are dicks. So
yeah.
I don't have like all the Shadow of the Bats and all that stuff, but just mainline Batman and Detective. I have almost everything.
Fuck yeah, dude. Nice. Let's see. Anything else I got? If I forgot any other shows I'm supposed to be on, I apologize to anybody watching. But that's about it. That's about it. Exactly.
I'm sure you'll be on this again at some, because I try.
Yeah, man.
If
I'm free, I'll definitely jump on.
My main thing is I want to get a main panel that's like 4 or 5 guys that does a show once every 2 weeks, and then if we can, move it up to how many ever. But I'd like it to be, instead of just shitting on everything, which seems to be like and I like doing that, don't get me wrong, but I would like to do one where we talk about things that we like and recommend. So like, even if it's old stuff, even it doesn't matter, because don't get me wrong. I can take shits on things all day. I have a channel where that's literally what I do and it's massively produced. I don't advertise it. I don't want people to actually go see it because then I might have to do more videos like that. But if you want to, go check out Fighting Fandom, and you can check out a couple videos that I did there. But for me, I have a video coming out probably at the end of this week. It should be for DC's Absolute Evil #1. And me and Savage Dad will probably be talking about this because I got him turned around on a lot of books, because there are books out there that are good. Not all of them. There's a lot less books that are good out there by the big two, but there are good books. There are good artists. There are good storytellers. You just have to find them, and there's a lot more independent books that are good than there are from the main two. But, yeah, I'll be doing that on the Laps Comic Fan channel. I also have an old Batman show coming out, which is going to be hilarious because old Batman is drugged out of his mind. And it's have you ever seen old Batman?
You talking about the old Adam West, 60s?
No.
What are we talking about?
It's the character
Batman.
that I do.
No.
Oh, God.
No, I have not.
Oh, Jesus. You can go check him out on my channel. He's done a lot of things. I also make fun of MSK on there quite a bit. I have this whole story that he has no idea about, and it's great.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But I'll be doing that, and I'll be on MSK show on super late Saturday because God forbid, why would he not do a show at a normal time? But I think he understands time zones. I don't think those are real to him. It's probably a conspiracy by some sort of community that he hates. But yeah, other than that, I'll just be here doing dumb stuff, and I'm sure we'll have fun again. So for Iron Oxide, thank you, man. I really appreciate you. Everybody go subscribe to his channel. Gray Poupet, as always, my friend. Everybody subscribe to Gray's channel and the Thinkers and That Darn Kidda. So have a great night, everybody. And remember, you can't get herpes unless you interact with someone with herpes. It's good. Same with